Good morning, my construction entrepreneurs. And it is cold. I'm a wuss when it comes to like cold weather, so don't take much for me to get cold. Anyway, I brought my little selfie stick with me this time. That way I don't have to, hold my coffee and hold the cell phone the weird way and get pumped. And sometimes you just say to yourself like, oh man, why not been think of that? Just the simplest stuff. Well, I tell you this, I can figure out a math equation for you. I can estimate your $1 million project, but I couldn't put 2 cents together and remember to get a selfie stick, huh? Anyway, enough razzing on me. This morning I'm gonna talk about the infamous paperwork monster, right? This paperwork monster stops companies' growth in all areas, right? And when I talk about this paperwork monster, I'm talking about people putting the paperwork monster on why they don't do certain projects, why they don't grow their business, why they don't do certain type of work, why they lost certain type of work. Now, this paperwork monster is real, right? It can be real if you allow it to be real. But somewhat it's not. Because as long as you handle it, you don't allow it to grow to a paperwork monster, then you're good to go. Now, let's talk first about the paperwork monster stopping individuals from getting into other sectors of work. Like, I've heard individuals call me and say, I won't get into commercial work because it's too much paperwork. The paperwork monster has ran them off. I won't get into hiring more employees because it's just too much paperwork. I don't want to deal with all that paperwork. Paperwork monster has won again. I won't work with that company because they sent me a 20-page application to get my business registered with them. Paperwork monster won again. Okay, so let's get this out the way. If you have the audacity to say, I want to run a business, I want to be my own boss, I want to make a decent amount of money, guess what? You're going to have paperwork. And over the years, you're going to have a lot of paperwork. Now, this is the trick here. Not allowing the paperwork to get to be a paperwork monster. The another trick here is eventually hiring someone to do the paperwork so you never even see the paperwork monster. Right? So, here it is. We got one thing here. Paperwork is going to come. Right? Being in business, that's just how it rolls. Hold on. I got to get this come back. Excuse me there. Hold on. Get this going here. So that's just how it rolls, right? Paperwork is going to be there, but it's really not that difficult, right? And this is another reason why I scream partnership. Now, partnerships are difficult. And a lot of people don't like to have partnerships, but I like partnerships in some facts is that if you're not good at the paperwork, maybe your partner is good at the paperwork. And you can focus on operational side and your partner can focus on the paperwork side. Good combination. Maybe that's why sometimes you see the husband and wife team, right? Wife may do operational side, husband may do paperwork, or vice versa, right? That's why you see brother and sister team, That's why partnerships are great because one person don't have to do everything. But getting to, let's just say, you just have to do the paperwork. Now, the paperwork is not really that bad when you understand the paperwork, right? You got to understand how to, you got to understand the fundamentals of running a business, right? You got certain paperwork that's just going to be paperwork that you need. Now, understanding that as a business owner is key, and it makes it a lot easier and simpler to do. Okay? Now, don't get me, when I do have to do paperwork, I'm not thrilled about it. So a lot of times for me, it does pile up, just the plain truth. Sometimes I'm on it, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. Most times it's not. That's what it is, but eventually I get to it and I complete it. But it's really not a humbug like you think. Usually it's already information that you already have with your business. I think sometimes it becomes a challenge when you don't have that information, right? Or you don't have that insurance and you need to go obtain it, or you need to go seek information about that. But usually, if you're already running a business, usually the information that they're asking for is what you already have and what you already know. So take the time, like, someone called me and said, hey man, can you do, I got an application from a company. It's a registration to register my company with them to pre-qualify me. Okay. Can you do this pre-qualification application? I said, yeah, I can. I can. It's not hard at all. Before I even seen it, I was like, I've done 20 or 30 of them, man. And some got rejected because they didn't like my financial status. Some didn't like my safety reports, and things like that. So, or I didn't have a safety report at that time. Either way, I told this gentleman, just read through it. Have you read it? No, I haven't. Is this a whole lot of paperwork? It was a large file within his email. So he didn't go through it. So we wound up going through it. And as we went through it bit by bit, you seen that it was company name, address, workers' compensation policy, general liability policy number. Have you had any safety incidents? I mean, it's just ask questions. Sometimes you got to give more of a detailed answer for some of the stuff, but most of the stuff is just general question. So if you do have that, and that paperwork monster has already stumped you, open it up and look at it. Read through it. Sit down and actually read through it. Don't bring the bull cracker, and you will see if you're actually in business. A lot of things that they're asking for, you already have. All right, so paperwork monster for a lot of other stuff, for workers' comp, simple stuff. You can literally tell someone your qualifications over the phone to get a workers' comp quote, to get a workers' comp policy, right? You can literally fill out something online and get a quote, and literally get a policy. And a lot of that stuff is about work that you do, work that you want to do, work that you want to have covered, how many employees you got, how long you've been in business. So let's talk about the public works paperwork monster, right? Now, public works paperwork monster is really not even a lot. The most amount of paperwork you sign in a public works contract is the actual contract, right? And if you're already doing business, you should already be doing contracts. So it's not even really a paperwork monster for that one, right? So, it's the contract, and then a lot of times when you're doing extra work, right? Now, extra work is here nor there for residential work, right? It is rarely do you get any. You get to file for any extra work on the residential side. But let's just say on the commercial side, there's paperwork there. And depending on what company you're with, it can get a little monsterish, right? Sometimes providing further documentation when you're dealing with extra work so you can actually get paid on it and it get approved can be somewhat humbuggish, okay? That is something that you just can't avoid. It's just like that, But this other stuff, and I know I'm missing a lot of other paperwork scenarios, but a lot of the other stuff is just what happens, And you can easily get it done and easily have it completed with, an hour of your time, 30 minutes of your time. And always remember this. A lot of times, the paperwork that's being requested from your whomever is requesting it has been requested from other people before, right? So you're just recycling that information. Okay, remember that you're just recycling that information. So a lot of it is repetitive. So you filled out that with one person, then you're doing the same thing with another person. Now, a tip for insurances: once you get to insurance status and you have insurance for your business, the best thing that I will say for you to do is get the insurance under one agent. Okay, one of my partnerships, we have to go through two different providers for our endorsements, right? Waiver of subrogation and things like that. We have to go through two different companies, State Fund, and then we go through another insurance agent for the auto in general. Anytime we have to send endorsements out. For me, I don't like that. I like to go through one agent, send them a quick email, and that certificate is in my email or sent off to my customer or my vendor, whomever needs it. Going through another provider just adds an additional step, but sometimes you just have to do it, especially if the price is right and someone else is handling that. So remember that. That's a little tip. So Paperwork Monster is not really that bad if you love what you do. You're in this construction industry. Remember, it's only temporary. Okay, that Paperwork Monster is only temporary. So learn about the paperwork so you can actually hire the right person to do it sooner than later. Okay, hire the right person to do it sooner than later. And then, mind you, there's a lot of people on Craigslist that can take care of this paperwork for you. A lot of people on what's that called? I think Fiverr, that can take care of this paperwork for you. There's family and friends that can do it, but you know, a lot of things with family and friends, if they're not in that industry, you have to teach them how to do what you need them to do with that paperwork. So you need to know how to actually do the paperwork. So get through it. Realize it's a part of ownership, and it's only a level that soon you will get past. And if you already pass it, you already have someone in place, I hope that person is good, they know what they're doing, and they're taking care of it for you. If not, you need to replace that person. Your office manager is very important. For higher companies, your controller is very important, right? So I'll let you go with that. Don't let the Paperwork Monster ruin your business. All right, my construction entrepreneurs, remember, hustle hard, then hustle harder. I'll let you go. See you on the next one.